It was an interesting moment for me at the time because I really wasn't seeking someone or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts. No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order.
I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I have a right to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a battle.
This is not justice! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No justice!
You're trying to have a judge removed.
I'll sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K-Man and Mr. Gee paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from a child?
I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I've gotta survive, gonna survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I'm gonna survive. Even with your lies.
Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Dr. Meleeka Clary is a clinical psychologist, actress, director, model, and human rights activist. On this program, Dr. Meleeka guides you toward a more fulfilling life through the power of positive psychology. And now, please welcome your host, Dr. Meleeka Clary.
Welcome to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Hello, fam. Oh my gosh, today was one of them interesting days, but I have to say, thank you, God, for getting me up this morning to be able to say I love you to my loved ones. Yes, in Jesus' name I pray, amen. I have to give praise because I was just saying that, decisions was made and I made it in today. So I'm going to be happy with that. I mean, you know what? We should be just grateful just to get another moment just to do things that we like to do because we just don't know. We don't have control over our life. You already know that. So when we do get a little something that we think we can make some decisions, then we like to, we need to make power moves. And one of them is doing this show. Because one thing I like about my show, I get to utilize my voice for the powerless. But also I get to help many people. And when I say that, or what I mean by that, is that there's so many people are struggling with mental health. And there's so many mental health disorders out there. And I want to say that there's easy ways to lose faith in life and decisions and direction. Because sometimes you can go on that yellow brick road and take so many different wrong turns and you just don't know how to get back. So what I try to do with my platform is to explain to people, other people I bring on guests, including myself, because I'm a guest to myself, that I have been on the yellow brick road before and I have found my way back. Okay. And how did I do that? You got to tune in to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show so I can explain to you, and the many guests that's on my show, because we're all people. Okay. Yes, we're different in personality, but we go through heartache, challenges, disappointments, love, breakup, failures, things that just could change your life in a hot second. But here's the big question. How do you get through it? That's why I like this show, because I get to bring people to explain their challenges, and sharing is caring. People, remember, I believe in that. Sharing is caring. And you care enough, if you came on my show as a guest, to share your moments, to share your challenges, to share your testimonies, because you believe that one day it can help somebody else at need. And that's what I believe. I believe all the things that I went through in life, and I still go through, I believe it's going to help someone like you. That's what I believe in. I believe in that hardly. I know that is a mission of mine. I've went to school for many years to just do that. And I'm okay with that. God is on my side. I know I'm doing something right. And you could try to silence me, but it's not going to work because I believe in God. And God is the only one that could silence me because I'm going to help the people. And I'm part of those people. So just remember, I'm not just helping you. You're helping me too. And why and how? Because I'm able to say how I feel. Now, one thing I want you all to know is that there's no judging on the Dr. Meleeka Clary show. We don't believe in that. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what you've been, who you are. Like if you did something wrong and you decide that, people want to label you. No. I believe in change. Remember that. I believe in everyone could change. You just got to want to. That's the most important thing that you need to take off my show is that do you have desire to change yourself? Do you need some help? Because that's also a good question. Do you need some help? Because I can answer that for you. I don't mind helping you. So please keep on tuning in. Watch me. I'm on Google. I'm on, Spotify. I'm on speaker. I'm on the radio. So there's places that you can find me, people. My show is many places. And to be honest with you, there's some places I don't even know, and it's on there. Okay? It just pops up, which is wonderful. So I want you to know with confidence that I'm available. There's helping tools that you can utilize for free. That's all you got to do is listen. Dial in. Watch. That's all you got to do. That's all the job is requirement here is just to pay attention and maybe you'll get something out of it. I believe you will. I know you will. And if you don't, you can always send me an email, get in contact with me. I will send you research. I will research resources for you. And hopefully I can get somebody that can help you within your specific issue. Okay? So remember that. It is always help with the Dr. Meleeka Clary. It's always willing to help you. Like I said, take information from guests who decide to be on my show willingly to share their testimonies and share things about themselves that many of us may not know. So remember to, do that. Just remember to do that. I think that is so important. So you think about that. Like I said, today we have a wonderful guest. And I'm going to introduce you to her when I get back. And we're going to take a brief commercial. But I had to say this to you. So just remember, I had to say this to you because I want you to know that when I get up in the morning and I come to Thursday or whatever day it is that I do my show or anything like that, I'm thinking about a chance to change or contribute to a social change in this world before I'm out of here. And I have children, so I want to set them straight to how to live life a little better without stress or less stress. I mean, I can't say we're not going to get stressed, have stress. It's just how you deal with it and what things that you can avoid. I think that's the most important is how to deal with it. And you're not alone. How's that? You're not alone. And I want you to believe that. You're not alone. Because I'm not perfect from it, people. Far from it. But we can help each other. I believe in unity. And I believe that we can do that. Okay? And with that being said, we're going to take a brief commercial. And we'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Yes, powered by Sweet Recordings. Don't go nowhere, fam. We'll be right back.
Even in young individuals, older, communication, active listening, it helps. Because if a person is telling you something, try to listen to something they're saying. I have to say, when you touched about suicide too, people say, oh, well, that's the first time I heard or didn't know. Or are we not communicating? Are we not talking?
Right.
Because how are
Right.
you not knowing what's going through in this individual's mind? Are we not asking another person? How can you be a wife or a husband and you're in the same home and not knowing what your wife or husband's going through? And then all of a sudden this person commits suicide. I think we need to change that. Where's the communication? Where is not seeking therapy? Is it our pride? Are we ashamed if we're having these thoughts? Because that's where the mental illness is developing even more, because people are not
Right.
sharing or caring enough, or it's a phase, because that's what I'm seeing, and that's across the board. It doesn't matter who
Absolutely.
you are. You could be a celebrity, you could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you could be a server. It doesn't matter, but you're human. So to me, we need to start changing the communication process. We need to talk.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Yes, welcome back. We're coming live. Woo! We are back, you guys. So, as you see, I don't see my little running strip I normally see, but maybe I will see that later anyway. With that being said, I want to re-edit at Google and Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn. Did I say Instagram? Yeah, all these social medias you can find me, YouTube. So please continue to, show your support and follow me. And I thank you. I really want to show so much appreciation to my fans. I've seen you. I see you. I reply to you. I know you're out there, and I know you're doing things amazing and just sharing things and getting the information that I want you to get and receiving it just the way I like it. So thank you again. This fans go to this this thank you go to my fans. I can't even talk. Thank you, fans. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you so much. And I just want to let you also know, continue to please see Three Coins Deception. It's still available on Prime Video. Yes, thank you for all the support there. The movie is it's a part of my life. It's a part of my legacy. And I would love for you to continue to watch that movie. So if you haven't seen it, go get your popcorn. It's 2 hours and 19 minutes. But if you haven't seen it, please go ahead and see it. Okay. Now, I told you I have a wonderful guest. And my guest, she is an author. She is, a writer, entrepreneur, and the thing about her is that I had to get I had some time to get to speak to her. And I just think that her story is compelling. She is very real interesting person. And I love her light, and when I say light, when people talk, you just feel like, wow, you're vibing with them so well, and her readings, writings, and, it's just wonderful. I mean, she produced and wrote, Body Ladies. I mean, I want to say, Book Lady. I think that's what it is, Book Lady. Now she can correct me when she comes. I hope I didn't mess that up. But what I don't know is all about her, like where she. See, I'm about to spill the beans, didn't I? I ain't doing that today. So what I'm gonna do, I'm the amazing guest because she was referred to me. And she has such a compelling story that I just want you to bit about this individual. So why don't you come in close while I introduce my amazing guest, Trinisha Mox. Come on in here.
Hi.
How you doing, beautiful? How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Yes, thank you. You're kind of low, but
Am I? Hold on.
I mean,
Let me adjust. Whoa.
oh, there you go. Well, that's good.
There we go. Sorry
There
about
you go.
that.
That's perfect. That is
Okay.
perfect. Yes. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. I cannot complain. God got me up this morning, like I said. I'm all right with that. The decision was made, and I'm here. So
Period.
I'll take it for what it is. That's right.
Mhm.
You know what, Trinisha? And am I saying your name right, Trinisha?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, good. I want to make sure. I mispronounce people's names a lot, and I don't do it on purpose. But
Me
I
too.
have to say that. Yeah, I don't wake up and say I'm going to screw your name up on purpose. It just happens. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's not something I do on purpose, but I'll fix it if I can. Just correct me. I'm okay. I'm coachable. So with
Right.
that being said, now I know there's a book. Is it Book Lady? Is that
Book
the
Lady is
name?
my no. Book Lady is my company.
Okay,
Tears,
good.
Tears in the Chambers of Heaven is my book.
All right, I just want to make sure we clear on that because I think when
Yeah.
I I didn't see the name of the book. I just saw Book Lady. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So Book Lady's company. Okay, we'll get more into that. But you know what, Tranisha, and what it is with me is I bring many people on my show, and I'm all about positive psychology, about sharing, caring, and there's many people out there is viewing my show. One thing I don't know, I go into what you do, what you offer, what you roll at. I want to know, who do you identify yourself to you?
Well, I am. Who do I identify as myself?
Mhm.
I'm just an encourager. Like that's just who my whole nature is. I love people. My motto in life is I want to live in the spaces in which I am, but I want to change them. So I feel like there's no person that I don't come in contact with, that I don't see something great in them and try to pull it out. That's my natural nature. My natural nature. And I just another thing, I'm really called to leadership. So we could be learning the same thing and people would always ask me. So that's something that I'm called to encourage the leader. People who have been in situations, things, all of those, and I encourage them to stay in the fight. That's really who I am.
Mhm. And what made you think like that? I mean, was there some type of point in your life that you was like, I want to be a servant, or I want to be a leader? When did you identify that within yourself? Because there's many people that we are followers before we realize we're leaders. Because I followed a bunch of people before I said, wait a minute, maybe I can lead a little bit. You know what I mean? So when did you come with that notion at that point?
Very early in life. Very early in life, we would always be doing the same thing, and I noticed there was a favor on my life, and it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing. It's just the light that God has gifted me with, and it's something that even when I was younger, people always sought me out to follow. Like one of the earliest things I can remember is sixth grade. I can remember us doing a project. And I remember I was really self-conscious because at the time I was considered bossy or, the person that was know-it-all, that type of thing. And so those were things that people said about me that in those situations I ate it. And so I remember being in that situation, coming with the project and them saying, we want Trinisha to speak for us. And my teacher, which her name is Mrs. Archibald, and she is the reason why I'm a writer. She is the reason why I knew that I was a leader because she took me after I presented and we did everything that we did, and she looked at me and she said, "I want you to know that you are not normal. You are extraordinary." And she told me, she said, "You are not only are you a writer, but you're a gifted writer. I don't think you know who you are." And that lady spoke to me, and those words, no matter what I went through, the words of Miss Archibald, I used to say, if she could see something in me, I could become that.
Wow, that is amazing. I asked that question mainly to, I mean, it's like a follow-up because we all had some type of role model in our
Mm.
life. Someone, besides it could be your parents, it could be outside your parents. And I remember that was something like my story. It was a director from a cheerleading. She was a coach for cheerleading and she saw acting in me. I didn't see that. I saw cheerleading, but I didn't see acting because she basically was I think she was a director for the play. And she, referred me to play Harriet Tubman, which is the lead. I was like, wait a minute, you saw this. So your story is compelling to what happened to me. So I appreciate you sharing that. And then right then I opened the door on doing other things, but I can go on and on about what kind of person she was to me. But she did open a door for me to speak. I want to say that too. I'm going to give her that because I did not, and I didn't utilize my voice like I utilize it now, but she reminded me that you have a voice. And she also showed me ways that I didn't have to act without using my voice, just by nonverbal. And I was like, wow, this woman's awesome. And I actually, took those techniques and I ran with it. So thank you, because you kind of remind me to go down memory lane. I like that. I love it. I do. I love that, sir. So thank you. With that being said, we are going to take a brief commercial. We got more to go. We are still with the amazing Trinisha. Trinisha, right? Trinisha?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure. Trinisha. All right. Amazing and beautiful. So do not go nowhere. We are still with her. And so don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings.
Tell me a little bit about what you do as a clinical psychologist.
Well, I see clients regarding depression, bipolar, personality disorders, because we know we have many out there. Yeah. So I help people deal with that and their families and everything like that.
And of course, mental health right now at the forefront, so important as people really start to kind of work on. I feel like we're gaining ground to understand that it is something that we can talk about, that we can seek help for.
Yes, it's been important. I think a lot of people didn't realize how important it is since the pandemic, but it's been important, just like physical, your medical condition. So yes, I've always thought it was, but I'm glad that we're getting help. And people are identifying it, because that's what's important. Many people wasn't identifying mental health issues. They just thought, oh, maybe you're having a bad day. Mm-hmm. No, that's labeled depression. If you're constantly having that bad day, every day you're waking up with that feeling, you need to seek help. You need to talk about it.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings, where we are coming live. All right, you guys, we are back. All right, we are still with our amazing guest, Trinisha Marks. Come on in here, Trinisha.
Hey.
Welcome back, my dear. All right. You know what? My show is not about judging anyone. I asked this question, because it is important, because everyone needs something, or they seek something, spirituality or anything like that. Like me, I am religious. When I say religious, I believe in God and Jesus and Holy Ghost all in one. And that's what I was raised on. But I also seeked it on my own, because I realized the human flesh failed me many of times, and I'm saying myself. So I cannot go and believe that I'm the one that's going to do it all. I had to believe in something else that I cannot see, but I can feel. That's how my faith went. So I'm going to ask this question. Do you have a religion mechanism that you utilize, some spirituality or something like that?
I have been saved since I was 4. And saved meaning being in church, being involved. I think I spoke my first message at 8. I taught Bible study at 12. I fully accepted the call to ministry when I was 22. And so I am a church girl by nature. That's who I am. People, when I was on the playground and playing, they used to call me preacher girl. So that is something that has been a part of me my whole life. I cannot separate it. It is who I am. No matter where I am, it's who I am. So my relationship with God is very, very important. And one of the things that I've been afforded the opportunity is to really get in the trenches and deal with people who we have a homeless ministry that I've been a part of for the last 16 years. So I've been an executive pastor of a church for like the last 18 years. So it's my faith. Listen, if I didn't have my faith, we wouldn't be having this conversation, because I wouldn't be here. I really wouldn't.
Yeah.
So
That's very powerful. What church is now? You're in the Boston area?
I am in Las Vegas, Nevada,
Oh,
and
Nevada. That's right.
I
Vegas.
am. I am.
Wow. What's the
And
church called?
New Beginnings Ministries.
Oh, I like the name. New Beginnings.
We're
That's
senior
wonderful.
pastor Bobby Smith, and yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. Wow, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. That's great. I don't meet so many pastors all the time. I have to say, I love it. I do, and and it's good to understand because many people think that, oh, I'm Christian or I'm this, I'm better than you. No, I don't think I'm better than you. It's just it's a faith that I believe in that helps me deal with life. Because when life is lifing, how's that? Life is lifing. I need something because the human flesh can only do so much. And that stress and that you just wake up sometime, you're just like, how did that happen? And you got to deal with you're in the storm. And my faith is God, help for the unseen, so I explain this to people because I think by you saying what you're saying is that people, we are saying that we need something besides the human flesh. And that's what that is. It doesn't bother me. What is your religion back on what you believe? No, wait a minute. Let me correct that. If you're an atheist, I don't want no part of that. I mean, no. I mean, I can interview you on my show. You could believe that. But we just ain't gonna talk about you believing in this and this and that. Because to me, I don't believe in hurting other people. So if you're hurting other people, that's not it. Now, if you don't believe in God, okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna judge you on that. I just don't believe in hurting other people just for the heck of it. So let me, paraphrase that because I think I've had a person that wasn't a believer, but it wasn't that he knocked it or she. I had so many episodes, so I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that they just didn't, they weren't raised on it. And that could be when you're not raised on those norms, that can happen. It's not that you're not a believer, it's just you wasn't raised like that. So
Right.
there you go. That's why I say this circle is not judging anybody. So we're not judging anybody here. Here's my other question. And I think that when I had issues or anything that happened in my life, and I want to say these big, huge challenges in the life, and I called in for help. Have you ever, and I know we probably had a lot of challenges, but have you ever had a challenge that it was so deep, so hard, and you needed help to get through it? How did you? Because I have to say this, there's many people watching and they're like, you don't have problems like me. You don't go through issues like me. You don't know what that about. You don't know what's that about. You're not like me. But we are. What challenge should you, and you could just share one, that'll be great. What challenge have you been through and you got through it? You're
My
here.
biggest challenge I had in my life was I met my best friend at 12. We got married when I was 20. We were together 22 years of marriage. Um, One night he went to sleep, woke up, and never spoke to me again. So from year 18 to the end of the divorce and going through that, we were both in ministry. We were very active. We were the couple everybody wanted to be. We were that. I mean, really, and it was easy with him. We'd wake up at 3, 4 in the morning, chat about just life in general. We have children. We have 4 adopted children, 2 biological children. So we had that. And so one day, the day before, we went out and we talked about all the places that, because I'm a speaker, so I travel a lot. And I had a lot of overseas engagements. And so I brought it out. I'm like, do you want to go to Antigua with me? Do you want to go to Barbados? Do you want to go to Dubai? Where do you want to go? And so we were deciding, and we had these plans like we're gonna buy land in Thailand and we're gonna build this. We were looking at some land in some other states because we wanted to do some things. So this whole day we're sitting there and we're organizing our legacy, our life, and I'm gonna sit on the porch and we're gonna eat cream of wheat and watch our grandkids play outside and those types of things. We're having that conversation. I mean, a literal conversation. We're having that conversation. The next morning, I woke up. I was just like, hey, like I normally would, and he never spoke to me again. There was no fight in the marriage. There was no. I had no idea what it was. There was no. So for almost 5 years, I didn't believe in divorce, and so I suffered in silence for 3. And the reason why is because I didn't really know what was happening. So I didn't know if he was going through a mental problem or what it was, but I needed God in a real way because I could have dealt with everything else in the world falling apart, but my best friend and me, we're us against the world. Now I'm here and I don't even know what it is, and I'm picking myself apart. Maybe it's because, maybe it's because of me being in the ministry and being gone for long periods of time, and maybe it's because I'm not, I may not be the wife that he really wanted, or maybe I'm not this. So for 5 years I laid next to a man that would not touch me, would not speak to me, would not do anything, and I did not feel like I had permission to leave. So I stayed. And I needed God to give me peace in a place where the storm was, where it wasn't moving, that I went to sleep and woke up in the same situation, but he gave me the peace that surpasses all understanding. And the reason why I can say that is because it no longer became my problem, it became a God issue. And God, whatever it is you want to do, I remember being on the altar and, God, I need you to fix this, fix his heart, fix me, fix whatever needs to happen because I don't want to do that. And I remember the Lord saying to me, if it doesn't get fixed, am I still not God? And so I went through a process. So speed it forward. I find myself in the middle of a divorce, the beginning of a pandemic. We're stuck in a house together. He refuses to leave. I can't put him out. I'm stuck there. So I'm listening to my best friend on the phone talking to women and things and playing love songs and all of that stuff. And I'm listening to this. And so I asked God, I'm like, you know what? I need an understanding. And I heard him say, stop taking responsibility for something that you have. It's not yours. It's not yours. And he said, if you stay, you cannot complain. But if you leave, I have better for you. And so people would argue and say, because of faith, they would say, you got to stay in it and you got to do this and you got to do that. We know that there are a couple reasons for, divorce and all that, all those things. But it would have been much easier if I had stayed. And the reason why I say that is keeping up appearances, because we were that couple. And coming out and saying, I'm really going through this. This is a form of abuse. This is a form of abuse. This is a form of what I'm going through. And having God, I covered him so well that when I spoke out, people assumed it was me because I covered him so well. So, that was one of the toughest times in my life where I realized I had to start again. And so now I have these kids, and at the time they're teenagers, and I'm starting all over again, a single mother, and now going through what you call it, now fighting against the statistics, because it's like, every single mother is going to be this or that, and he completely shut down in life in every area. So he was a great father. All of a sudden, he wasn't talking, so he was non-compliant. He just was part of no life. So that's the biggest obstacle that I had to overcome, and my faith, I clung to it, and my faith is the reason why I can still I'm excited about life. I'm going through that. You would think, but I wrote a book in the midst of me going through, and it was called Dear Future Husband. My dear future husband was reminding me that even though I was going through a divorce, even though I felt like all this stuff, I was still called to be a wife, and I knew that I was.
Yeah.
So,
wow. Wow, that is very, that's just compelling. Let's just put it that way. And, thank you for one. Thank you for sharing that, because I know I want to say I've had a failed marriage before. And I can't say that we both didn't contribute to the mess. We did, no matter how you look at it. That's what I look at it. But I don't want to imagine, but my profession allows me to imagine what you've been through. But I don't want to imagine being around someone and not really having communication within the 5 years of being with them. And then one day it's, like midlife crisis, basically. That's what it sounds like to me. And, and you're dealing with that. And one would not know what that person is dealing with if they're not communicating and refuse to communicate. So, I understand, what you're saying. It's sad that people do that. And the shame that we don't want to, say, hey, we're not together. It feels heartbreaking. And, your friends, they'd be like, oh, yeah, like you said, you're a power couple. And then the breakup, and then we're having issues. And, it's like not sharing anything, but living a lie in yourself, a fantasy world, which we have problems, people. That's why I said we have to bring out what we have, what we're going through, because that's how life is. You can either sit in yourself and rot away, or you can let the diarrhea out of your mouth and basically wake up, and that's what we need, to wake up. And you know what? I noticed that you're here. You're smiling, so you woke up with God's help, and that's all right. So, with that being said, thank you so much for sharing that again. We are going to take a brief commercial, and as you know, amazing Trinisha, we are still with her. So do not go nowhere, fam. We got more to go. We'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Don't go nowhere, fam. We'll be right back.
Even in young individuals, older, communication, active listening, it helps. Because if a person is telling you something, try to listen to something they're saying. I have to say, when you touched about suicide too, people say, oh, well, that's the first time I heard or didn't know. Well, are we not communicating? Are we not talking?
Right.
Because how are
Right.
you not knowing what's going through in this individual's mind? Are we not asking another person? How can you be a wife or a husband and you're in the same home and not knowing what your wife or husband's going through? And then all of a sudden this person commits suicide. I think we need to change that. Where's the communication? Where is not seeking therapy? Is it our pride? Are we ashamed if we're having these thoughts? Because that's where the mental illness is developing even more, because people are not
Right.
sharing or caring enough, or it's a phase, because that's what I'm seeing, and that's across the board. It doesn't matter who
Absolutely.
you are. You could be a celebrity, you could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you could be a server. It doesn't matter, but you're human. So to me, we need to start changing the communication process. We need to
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Powered by Sweet Recordings, as we are live. We are still with the amazing Trinisha. Come on, Trinisha. Hello, beautiful. Well, before we went on break, yes, we get deep on the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, but that's okay. We need to, because change is like that. That's what you were before, and there's people out there probably in the same position and saying, I don't know. And they have their belief, because it wasn't easy for me to get a divorce. I believed that, I needed to stay in this. It was my first marriage. But then, I didn't walk a straight line. I mean, I had 2 kids out of wedlock. So I was like, yeah, but for the marriage, I was just like, God, I prayed and prayed and prayed. But a verse to me in the Bible, and said, if a man does not want to be with you, then you should not be held in bondage. And that's the part that got me through. I think was it 7th curriculum? I think that's what I kept reading and reading and reading, and said, well, I he don't want it. At least if he say he don't want, he's acting like he don't want it. And if you're going to act and do all these mysterious things, then I need to go. Let me go with somebody else who's going to appreciate me. I believe in love. You hear me? I believe in love. I do. And don't get me wrong. I like single life is great, but with somebody's even greater. So I believe in we are meant to be with someone or something, and whatever that looks like to you. I mean, if people want to be by themselves, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong, as long as you're content with your decision. But I believe in relationships. So what I don't want people to think is that just because you have one failed one didn't go well, you gotta put the running shoes up. No. I don't believe in that. I believe in, hey, there's still hope out there, and I just have to allow myself to be loved. So, and I would love to say that because being a single mom, I'm always going to have to mention that love is there, and someone needs to love on you. God loves you, but you see some human flesh to love on you too. So single is okay, but it's all right. When the time is right. Yes. So I always tell people that because I think that is something that we forget, that we're like, I'm doing this and doing that. It's okay. There's somebody else is doing this and doing that too. And they could probably help you do it too. So keep hope alive. I love that. So with that being said, Trinisha, my thing about how important is self-care to you, because you explained to me that you are a servant to other people and you do so many things for other people. What is Trinisha doing for herself that is self-care related?
I'm a journaler. I write a lot. I am a novelist, so a lot of situations I create characters and write them out in stories and do different things
Nice.
like that. I am in love, so that's another thing. I enjoy spending time with my guy and loving on him and him loving on me, and yeah, I can. That to me, that is part of it. Being happy, healthy, and in love and loving life, and not just in love with him, but in love with myself.
Oh, I love that you said that because I was about to say that loving you first, because no one could love you more or better than you loving yourself, because then you're allowed other people to love on you.
Absolutely.
That is so
Absolutely.
wonderful. And so that's your self-care, you writing and stuff like that. Um and you said character, is it cartoons that you do?
Actually, yes, I create cartoons, I create children's books. I am also a coloring book. I That's my favorite thing to do.
Ah,
Right now I am in the process of creating a coloring book that honors women who are trailblazers. And it's called We Are More Than Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman. And I
oh,
want children to know that we don't just celebrate our amazing legacy just in February, but there is the purpose of me creating these books are so that they can see a reflection of themselves. So a young brown skinned girl, whether she's light skinned, darker skinned, she's has long hair, she has short hair, she has whatever she has, she can look in one of these books and she can find a face that looks like hers. He can find a face that looks like his. And so that is really my passion. The books that I create for other. The Book Lady actually is a publishing company, and so
okay.
what I do is I help
Ah,
other people write books, get it out of them. I am a book
wow.
coach, strategist, so I can help them. Sometimes you have an idea of a story, or even if you're telling your life, you have an idea of something, but I help them to understand how to put it out and what you want your reader to understand. So that is what I do. Yeah.
Wow. So do you publish the books for them or you
I
show
do.
them how?
I
Mm,
do. I do.
got your number. I got your number.
I do. I do. I
Oh,
do.
I love that.
I
So if I'm gonna go into that too because I want to know a little bit more about that as well.
okay.
Um, I have to ask. I mean, you're amazing. You do. I love when I have guests on the show because I've learned a little bit more about them,
Yeah.
and it just lightens me up. I love to. It's food for thought for myself. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? Like the first thing, you know why? I gotta ask that question because the first thing when someone wakes up, it's what comes in their mind is, I don't want to wake up. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's, whatever can get you out of that bed might be something motivating. And there's a lot of people that's probably vibing with, I don't want to get up today. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But what gets you? What's some routine things that you do get you motivated, your engine going? Share that because some people, like I told you at the beginning of the show, we are followers before we realize we're leaders, and some people need a little bit of more leadership in that area.
I am I believe in setting my atmosphere. First thing in the morning, you will see me. The very first thing I do, first of all, I'm gonna roll over and thank God that I woke up. And the second thing I'm gonna do is, I have this thing that I repeat to myself, and it's I'm swinging my feet into intention. And I ask the Lord to order and direct my steps today. I'm overcoming a condition called fibromyalgia, and I have rheumatoid arthritis in almost 80% of my body. Walking and mobility is not always an easy thing for me. In fact, I'm on a walker, and I have a scooter. Like if I have to go out or do different things. The reason why I said that is because when I wake up already. I wake up with extreme fatigue. I wake up already with pain in my body. I wake up already. My pain level is an 8. Pretty much, I live at an 8. Pretty much throughout the whole day. You know, like when you go to the doctor 1 to 10, I live as of now until God heals me because I believe, and not only I believe, I have an assurance that I won't wake up in pain every single day. I have an assurance. But while I'm on the way, what I do is I set my intentions and I do not focus on what I can't do, but I strengthen what I can do. And that means Trinisha has a mouth, Trinisha has a voice, Trinisha has her hands where she's able to text and she's able to send out messages. And I ask the Lord to give me the people that I need to speak in for that day. And so I'll send them a message, sometimes just remind them that even though they may go through a situation or whatever it is that they're still called, that doesn't change. Divorce didn't change my call. Fibromyalgia didn't stop my purpose. None of that stopped that. But what the only thing that can stop me is if I stop. That's it. So I'm very intentional about my day. I'm intentional about my peace. I don't allow my peace to be shook or took by any situation. I'm just not going to do that. I have overcome way too much to die in the reset. I'm in the reset of my life. I've come. You mean I'm gonna live through? I buried two daughters. I have gone through with the with my body mobility. I was at the place where I could not move and could not walk. I mean, I'm talking like paralyzed. Could not move. Could not going through the divorce. Going. You think I lived through all that to allow a situation today to stop me? No. So what I do is I set my intention and I manifest through my words what I want to see. And then I walk in it.
Wow. You know what? When I say we go through stuff, we go through some stuff.
Yeah.
And you're right. You got a powerful message, but you have a direction and you have strive. You have motivation. You're very inspiring, my dear. Thank you. I
You have to
appreciate that.
fight. You have to fight. You have to fight to live. Most people, they get through the survival state, but I'm not going to live my life on survival mode. I'm not going to do that. So most people live through the tragedy, but they never get to the place of the testimony because they're either bitter or they carry the resentment or whatever the situation is. And so you got to fight to live.
I love that quote. You got to fight to live. I love that. Woo. Thank you, Trinisha. Thank you so much. We are going to go on a brief commercial, people. Don't leave. Y'all already know it's getting hot in here. Okay. Tanisha on the road. She said she was a speaker now and a preacher. So, hey, there you go. So, don't go nowhere, fam. We'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. All right. We'll be right back.
Tell me a little bit about what you do as a clinical psychologist.
Well, I see clients regarding depression, bipolar, personality disorders, because we know we have many out there. So I help people deal with that and their families and everything like that.
And of course, mental health right now at the forefront, so important as people really start to kind of work on, I feel like we're gaining ground to understand that it is something that we can talk about, that we can seek help for.
Yes, it's been important. I think a lot of people didn't realize how important it is since the pandemic, but it's been important, just like physical, your medical condition. So yes, I've always thought it was, but I'm glad that we're getting help. And people are identifying it, because that's what's important. Many people wasn't identifying mental health issues. They just thought, oh, maybe you're having a bad day. No, that's labeled depression. If you're constantly having that bad day, every day you're waking up with that feeling, you need to seek help. You need to talk about it.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings, where we come in live. We are still with the amazing and beautiful Trinisha. Come on in here, dear. All right. Oh, just a light. Just a light. Okay. Oh, my gosh. You know what, Trinisha, it is such a wonderful time. It's short, but it's a wonderful time to spend some time with amazing guests as yourself. You know, I want to ask you, how do people find you? I mean, your website, your social medias, or books that you put out there. How do they find that too?
Amazon. My books are available on Amazon. Just type my name, Trinisha Marks, and it'll come up like all my different books. Um, I am on every social media platform. I'm known as on TikTok. I'm T Marie and Trinisha Marks. But let's just say the easiest way to contact me is through email, trinishamarks@gmail.com. So if conversation, question, anything. Like one thing I love is inspiring people. So it doesn't matter, if it's a question about how do I overcome this, or a question about, I'm going through in my faith or whatever, email me. I check my emails and I will get back to you. So trinishamarks@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. And are you touring right now? You said you're speaking all over, and it's like,
I have not, but I will start back in March.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Due to my limited mobility for a period of time, I stopped. Not stopped, but did a lot of virtual things. Okay. But God is really pushing me into an uncomfortable place, which is going into the rooms, not just virtually, but now going back onto the stages and doing what I've really been called to do. So in March will be my first stepping back tour, actually. I will be talking about my book, and then I have a coaching system called Reset and Ready for Next. And so my signature talk is Reset and Ready for Next. And so that is what I will be doing. I will be going out and talking about how to connect back to your life after such, trauma, situations, things. How do you reconnect and find happiness again?
That's very interesting, very deep, and it's because things that you went through and you had to find a reconnection.
Yeah.
And you seek that out. It's interesting that you would say that, because I remember when I was going through the midst of the storm of the divorce and all that, I remember writing for 30 days how I felt. Before I will keep that in, but every day I write how I feel today. Is it getting better? It's going to get better. How I felt today, what I do today. And, it worked. I would say it worked. It worked. In 30 days, I did it. I wrote every day how I felt, how I want to feel, but how I felt from time on. And I think that's like the reset button that I want to say. First, I identified how I was feeling and what I did. And even in the marriage, I wrote it down, how do I feel? Even if I'm seeing somebody, or if I do allow myself to, how I feel. And it broke that feeling, of just doubt. I want to say doubt of moving on, doubt that a relationship could happen again, doubt to allow myself to be loved, trust. Oh my gosh, it's trust. That was a big one. Oh my goodness, that one took longer than 30 days. but it did happen. And I will say, it did happen. I truly believe that trust is something that you can get in a relationship. You just gotta allow yourself to trust a person. Of course, people show, that they're trustworthy. Don't get me wrong. It is a working in progress.
Yes.
But I truly believe that I overcame that part. So I appreciate you sharing all these highlights and relationship tips and stuff. And I definitely got to check you out on your social medias and stuff like that. Let me ask you, we have many things that we live by, and quotes and rhythms and music or whatever will get people thinking. Well, is there a special quote that or a song, I don't know, that gets you going, that you're like, you know what? I live by that. And I run, because my dad he had this quote: "Never give up, never stop giving up." And I live by that. Never stop giving up. Now, don't get me wrong. If I want to give up on somebody, it's not because, what he said I'm going to keep in the midst of it. It's because I got bored with it. Or I changed my mind, because we can change. We can change our mind. But I want to finish the task of something I started, as long as if I have a desire to do that. Now, we do as people could start something and get bored with it, and it wasn't meant for you to keep it. It was meant for you to learn and take something from it and maybe finish something else. That's something I want to let people know, because I don't want them to be so hard on themselves just because you didn't finish this. You could change your mind. You don't want, because people get stuck in, I need to do this. I got to do this. I didn't do it. I got to finish it. Not always the case. Sometimes it's a lesson learned. You got to take something out of it to make maybe on the next thing that you do have to finish. So remember that. But is there a quote?
Yeah, get up, girl.
Ooh,
I live by that every single day. Get up, girl. It was something my mother said. She always said, "You're not the first, you won't be the last, but get up, girl." And so I have placed that in my. I mean, when I tell you, it reminds me every single day. Get up, and I will not stop showing up for me. Period. I'm going to show up in every capacity of life for myself first, and then I can add others, but for myself first.
Wow, that is wonderful. Get up, girl. I like that quote, because even when I don't want to get up, I be like, get up, girl. You heard Trinisha. Get up, girl. And I love it. I love that. There's so many different quotes I hear from people, and I'm like, I'm gonna use that. Get up, girl.
Yeah.
Get up, girl. Now, you guys, get up, boy.
Yeah.
Get up.
Yeah.
It still applies. Okay.
Does.
Get up.
You just have to get up, period. Like, get up. Get up.
Yeah.
I have been through, when I say the death of my daughter took me to a place that I never thought I would ever come back from. I just didn't. Faith, life, just in general. And so there's a scripture, it's Psalm 61, verses 1-2. And it says, "From the edge of the earth will I cry. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to a rock that is higher than I." And so there are situations that we are called to have to go through, live through, be through, um, show others, all of those things that we're called to do. But we have to have something that is greater than us. And on the day when I memorialized her, and on the day when I stood by her, um, stood by her grave, and watched my ex-husband carry the casket down and go through all of those things, Get Up Girl was in my mind, because Get Up Girl was, I still have children that I have to raise.
Yeah.
I still have life I still got to show up for. I still have things I have to, and it's not this may be her promotion, but it's not the end for me, and I won't live in the graveyard. And so that is something that most people say that, I can serve God, but if I did this, it would make me walk away from God. If I had to bury a child, if I had to do that, I can say that there is nothing on this earth that will separate me from the love of God. And the reason why is because on my worst day, when I was sitting there and everybody else was telling me, it's okay, you got other children. It's okay, you'll have another child. It's okay. All of those things, God was the only thing that comforted me and let me know that even when we talk about faith like it's a denial of the facts, that we don't have to live through all the stuff that we go through. But this situation is reminding us that when we're going through situations, the rock higher than us will take us in places that we can't go through alone.
Wow. Wow. You know what? You really it very, very motivating, because sometimes you just don't want to imagine that. I don't want to imagine bury a child before me. I just don't want to imagine it. But there's things that you kind of think, if I was to do, please get me through it. That's all I can ask, get me through it. So you know, I really look at every day like it could be your last day. I think the best thing that I can tell my children and myself is that to say I love you through a chat line, sometimes we're not all together. They're older, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And to say, I love you, I do that every day. I do that every day because it's
Yeah.
still a form of communication that I love you, because the ones that left behind, you have to remember that part and what's the last words. And we have the I love you. So I try to educate them and try to let them know to do that. So I commend you because it is hard and no parent want to do it. But your faith is strong, and that's why I got to remember that too. I mean, you know, but it is challenging. That is challenging. And not that you want to blame, it's just like it hurts so much. But you know, God got to get you through. He get you through it. You're right. You're a powerhouse girl. Thank you. Get up, girl. I love it. Well, you know what, Trinisha, thank you so much for being a guest on the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. It has been short and been sweet, and we do have to get ready to go. But you know what? Thank you again. And I'll be tuning in looking for you, girl. So thank you again.
Thank
You
you
have
for
a
having me.
wonderful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And you know what? I have to say, that was powerful, people. I never know all the things that one would talk about sometime because you just don't know. But you learn something. And I have to say, I them today and enjoy life because you never know what one's going through. You're not alone. And you know, you already see my social medias on there. I want you to enjoy the rest of this day and enjoy the weekend to come that God gave you. And if you're going through something, pray about it and try to get through it as much as you can. Talk about it, people. Let's talk about it. And if no one said I love you, I love you. I care about you. So remember that. And enjoy the rest of the day. I love you and take care. God, may God bless you all. Mwah.